She's all right when you get to know her. This is my podcast, and it takes you from your restrictive, toxic, life-limiting 9 to 5 into a life on your terms, full of freedom and flexibility as a self-employed virtual assistant. So whether this is your first introduction into the possibility of becoming a VA, or perhaps you've been doing a bit of Googling already, I'm going to get rid of the overwhelm, rid of the self-doubt, and show you that this life is possible. I've not just started this rodeo, you know. I'm Catherine Gladwyn, and I've been doing what you think is impossible since 2015. Shall we get started? So in this episode, I want to kind of work on a bit of mindset and stop you comparing yourself to other virtual assistants, because that is just going to bring you down, confuse you, overwhelm you, and make you want to give up. So they call it comparisonitis. You know, it's a good one. You should phone your boss. If you're still employed, you should phone your boss and say, look, I'm ever so sorry, mate, but I've had comparisonitis all weekend and it's really affected me. So I'm not going to be in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, possibly Thursday, probably Friday afternoon, about 3, I'll be able to come in. I got, comparisonitis. Anyway, see you, bye. And they're just going to be flummoxed. Anyway, comparisonitis. If you've got it, you're going to have been doing things like, I don't know, tapping into Google, virtual assistant, I don't know, let me think of some. Virtual assistant and then your local area. So I would put virtual assistant Swindon. Have a look at their website. By the time you've read just a few words on their website, your brain has told itself they are really successful. And they're offering minute taking to parish councils in Swindon only. And you're like, oh my God, I need to learn how to do minute taking, specifically to parish councils, because that's the only way I am going to be successful. Like Davina in Swindon, my biggest competitor. Now, hopefully you've had a little bit of a giggle there, because this bit is really important. So kind of put this, you know what I say, put it on a Post-it note and put it on your notice board. But just because you see somebody selling something or start that again, Gladwyn. Right. I could edit that out, or I could let you know that I'm a dick. But right. So what it is just because you see somebody promoting something doesn't mean they're selling it. So you need to kind of stop yourself and just, when you start feeling like stressed or useless or start questioning your own abilities, just step back and think to yourself, right, what has happened to make me feel like this? Why do I think I'm a failure? Why do I think I'm not going to succeed? And then just come away from wherever you are, sit quietly somewhere and think about what put you in that mindset. And you even though I've joked at the beginning, once you've sat there and you've thought about it, then you can, you'll say to yourself, okay, so I went on, I think I used the word Davina, the name Davina, didn't I? But I went on Davina's website, and within 4 seconds, I'd convinced myself that I need to learn minute taking because that's what she's doing. And it's not. You've told yourself based on no evidence or anything like that. I mean, if you find you can't get yourself out of that mindset, come into my Facebook group. You can post anonymously if you want, if you're embarrassed, but there is nobody in there that's going to laugh at you, because I can promise you this comparisonitis is incredibly contagious. It's a lot of people get it. Do you know what? I'd even love to say everyone gets it, but we're not all the same, are we? But there's a lot of people that do. But come into the Facebook group and go, look, and I know most of you started with silly question, but no, it's not a silly question. So you would come in and say, do you know what? I'm offering email and diary management and Canva graphic creation, but I've seen someone local to me is offering minute taking to parish councils. Do I need to be looking at offering that as well? And then I'll come on and I'll know exactly, or a member of my team, or some of the other almost 8,000 people in there who've had the same experience as you, and they will kindly and they will gently and with full understanding let you know that no, you don't have to. Now, something I always say, so the VA Starter Guide now includes a whole module on marketing. And something I say on there is that everything sells. Everything sells. You'd have had, I am pretty sure, it can't just be me, but that gets these Temu, Temu, however you pronounce it, adverts pop up on some random website you're on for something you're just never going to be interested in. I've had a fake hairy tummy come up from Temu adverts. I have never, ever shown any interest in having a fake hairy stomach, you know? But I bet people are buying them. I bet they're buying them for fancy dress parties and, things like that. Everything sells as long as it's marketed constantly to an ever-growing relevant audience. So whatever services you're offering, if you haven't sorted what services you're offering out yet, then I will tell you how we can do that in a minute, just quickly. But whatever services you're offering, then scaffolders have turned up. I've managed to give him the thumbs up out the window. Crack on. But whatever services you're offering, it's enough. And you just have to make sure that you're confident and competent at doing them, because otherwise that causes you stress and lots of other things, but also that you enjoy them, because otherwise your virtual assistant business is going to feel like you're going to work every day. And we do not want that. That's what we're coming away from. So no, you don't need to look at other people's services or what other VAs are doing and think, oh God, I've got to learn that as well. I'd done minute taking before and I didn't enjoy it and I wasn't very good at it. And oh God, does this mean I'm going to need to learn shorthand? And you're down that rabbit hole. Other things we do is we look at other VAs and, you're in a Facebook group or you're on LinkedIn or something and somebody puts a post saying, I've just handed my notice in. It's, I don't know, let's say it's April the 1st and I only started doing this in December and I'm already matching my full-time wage. And you sit there and you're like, well, I've been doing this 10 months and I'm still not ready to hand my notice in. So what am I doing wrong? I'm obviously failing. Let's take those two things. I'm going to take them backwards, first of all. So failing. No, you are not failing. You are not failing. And it is because you're not doing anything wrong either. But you're not failing because we've all got different things going on in our lives. So Janet, who started the business in December, it's now April and she's handed in her notice. Guess what? Janet only worked 7 hours a week. So she only had to fill probably 3.5 hours a week as a VA. So it's not difficult for Janet, whereas you perhaps need to fill 30 hours a week as a virtual assistant to match your full-time wage to enable you to leave your 9 to 5. Everybody is different. Perhaps Janet has got lots of savings. Perhaps Janet, sadly, very sadly, lost her parents and she's got a massive inheritance. They had some dodgy chips from the nearby chippy. Very sad. Curry sauce had gone off as well. But yeah, so comparing ourselves is to what other people have achieved can sometimes have negative effects. And what you need to realise is that you don't know what's going on in these people's lives. So, like I said, they might have inheritance. They might only need to work 3 hours a week or something like that. You must, what the best thing is to do is to congratulate them, maybe send them a DM and congratulate them and then just focus on yourself. Again, it could be a good time to reevaluate what you're doing. You might think, do you know what? I have let my marketing stop a little bit. So maybe I need to do that. And I've not really built my audience for 6 months. So I need to be focusing on that too. So think of it positively, turn it around positively and think, bloody well done, Janet. I'm just going to check that I'm doing everything I should be. Yep, I am. It's just going to take me a bit longer. And that's fine, absolutely fine. Just know that you are on the right track. Now, another thing that we compare, like I said at the beginning, if you're comparing yourself against Davina that does minute taking for parish councils, you may also be looking at other virtual assistants and convincing yourself that you need to learn Monday, Trello, Asana, Dubsado, MailChimp, MailerLite, blah, blah, blah. Go back if you haven't already and listen to, I think it was episode 5. Could be lying, might be 4, might be 6. But it's the one where you'll be surprised at what software you don't need to learn as a VA. And that'll quash that one. I won't repeat it all in here for you. Now, one of the things I mentioned in this podcast was about picking your services and making sure that you're confident and competent at them, but that you also enjoy them. And I've got a free download for you. It's katherinegladwyn.co.uk/VA-services. I need to shorten that, don't I, really? I just need to make that something. I'll have a look at changing that. But at the moment, that's what it is. katherinegladwyn.co.uk/VA-services. And it's a free download and it will put you on my mailing list, which you can unsubscribe from at any time. But I do warn you, unsubscribes make me very sad, make me bingy, and then you are responsible for any weight gain I have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I've just had a Vinted delivery and I haven't, for the life of me, got an idea what it is. No doubt it'll end up in charity shop in a week. If you're ready to reclaim your independence, then subscribe to this podcast because there is so much I'm going to give you. Oh, you've got to subscribe on your favourite channel, it says. What channel? I ain't going to be on the BBC, am I?